What's up, homies? It's Lando Smoothie. I'm here. I'm going to talk about some pickups. It was hard for me to decide kind of where to start the pickups, like how recently and how far back I was going to go. Thinking about my showcase here. I decided to go back maybe like 3 or 4 weeks, go through most of the stuff that I got. And it has been a pretty prolific period in terms of pickups, so I definitely have a lot to look at. So I'll start off with these. I got these 3 3/4 inch Rogue One figures at GameStop actually. You can see with the garish yellow stickers here. Even though this one says $5.97, I actually got them both for $2.97, which is why I decided to pick them up. They're not ones that I kind of, been foaming at the mouth for, but I actually really like them now that I have gotten them. The only one I've cracked open is the K2SO, which you can see right there. He was just, I couldn't resist. So I had him do a little cameo on our Rogue One Blu-ray review from a few days ago. So I haven't cracked them open. Most of these you'll see I haven't actually opened yet. Not sure what I'll decide to open eventually or not. I kind of want to keep a lot of these carded because they're in really good condition, even though they're not really expensive figures. So we'll see how that goes. Continuing along that line, I definitely, did pick up this Rogue One Blu-ray. If you didn't catch my video, you should go back. The last review I did was on this whole Target exclusive Blu-ray. Overall, fairly happy with it. But check out the review if you want a little bit more detail. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one. So as a lot of you know, they've been doing a lot of big sales at retailers with the Black Series lately. The 6-inch line has been discounted below $10 in a lot of places, a lot of the different ones. Unfortunately, it's been mostly peg warmers. I've been seeing a lot of Jyn Ursos, a lot of Cassian Andors. So I haven't picked up much in terms of these sales. I did get some 3 3/4 inch figures, maybe a few of them a little while back when they had them. Those have been ridiculously low, like 5 something a piece. But I did pick up this normal Resistance base C-3PO here with the red arm. I haven't done a review on it yet, but I do have the Walgreens exclusive with the silver leg, from A New Hope. So I was really glad to nab this one for about $9.80 something like that. Looks pretty good. I'm a big C-3PO fan. My first review was a C-3PO figure. He's always just such a striking figure. I can't resist when I see a really nice one come along or just a really good deal. I have to get it. I have some more that I can showcase at some point. I have one that I really want to do a review on soon, so be on the lookout for that. Moving along. So here we're getting into a pretty great run. Pretty much all of these are Power of the Force figures that I've picked up pretty recently, locally actually. I haven't ordered any of these on the internet or anything like that as yet, because I've been really fortunate. The two that you're seeing right here I actually got from my work. I work at a used media store, and we get collectibles like this on occasion. And I got them. I get a really good deal on them. I get a discount and stuff like that. So it's always worth picking up these figures. Well, almost always. I've grabbed a bunch of these that I'm not going to showcase over the last couple of months. These are ones that I got really, really recently, so I was going to show you these. I actually lollygagged on this Luke Skywalker for quite a while, just because I'm not a huge fan of the figure, but the price was right, and I just wanted to grab him anyway. He was about the last one left that I hadn't snagged at the store, so we have him now. And these Ugnaughts were a super good deal. I think they were like something like 2 something. They're not super, neither of these are super expensive figures, and most of these Power of the Force figures are not super expensive. But I actually kind of like them. Some of them kind of have that muscle-bound stuff going on, which I don't really like. I showed you a glimpse of a Lando Calrissian, which is probably the worst one that I've come across so far. But a lot of them are really nice, and they actually went all out and got a lot of the more obscure stuff going on with these in this line. You can see the Ugnaughts here, like that's one that you don't really see every day. And I got the freeze frame on that one, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna go through and just kind of double fist these along the way. They do not stand up super well. I don't really want to prop them against the back wall there because they won't be quite as in frame. But I got a bunch of these at a local indoor flea market that has a booth with a ton of them. I'm gonna keep going back and probably just drain that place dry over time, to be honest with you. So far I've only gotten maybe 10 figures from there. We're gonna go through most of them. You can see Mon Mothma on the left with a freeze frame and a Weequay skiff guard here on the right. They have some really cool accessories. I'll go through and review these in the future, but for now I just kind of want to showcase them. I actually have 2 of these Weequay guards. One of them I got from my work, which I mentioned before. We got a bunch of those fairly recently at work as well. But I definitely wanted more than one so that I can create kind of a couple of Jabba dioramas in the future. I have my projects kind of in line. I want to make a Jabba diorama, I want to make a Cantina diorama. I definitely want to make a Starlight Pit diorama, which is kind of where these would go actually. So changing it up a little bit, I did get one episode 1 figure at the booth that I mentioned before. This Mace Windu figure. He caught my eye. I hadn't, I don't know a lot about the episode 1 figures as yet, but I am a fan of Mace Windu, even though there's not really much to be a fan of. He's sort of just kind of a blank slate. But, everyone loves Samuel L. Jackson, right? He's a cool guy. He's been in so many films that I am really partial to that I can't help but love him. Comes with a blue lightsaber, so it's an earlier figure in the episode 1 line, before Attack of the Clones came out. I just couldn't resist. Could not resist. It's a Comtech chip. I don't have the Comtech reader or anything like that, and I don't really care about the Comtech chips at all, but it is there. And you have the nice card at back with Mace Windu's face there. Excuse me. You have the nice card at back with whatchamacallit, Darth Maul's face. Gosh. Alright, and of course, Moma Nadon, Hammerhead on the left. He's going to be a nice figure for my Cantina diorama at some point. Alright, moving right along here again. I have another Lando score. This is Lando Calrissian as Skiff card. It's got a sweet helmet. I loved it. I was so happy to grab him. And then on the right, another Jabba's Palace figure, Malakili, the Rancor Keeper. Oh, I was jazzed about that. I've been reading Tales from Jabba's Palace recently, and I got through his story fairly, maybe a couple of weeks ago, and, it was really enjoyable to kind of see his perspective. I really loved reading that one. Alright, keeping going. Yet another Lando figure, and another General Lando Calrissian figure. I showed off the Black Series 3 3/4 inch figure, for one of my first videos, my first few reviews. And here's the Power of the Force figure with the freeze frame. I think he looks pretty good. He's not quite so muscle bound as the Bespin Lando from their early Power of the Force line. And then of course, to the right, I've been thinking about him a lot because of Rogue One out recently. Just kind of had that on the brain. Grand Moff Tarkin. You don't really see many figures for Grand Moff Tarkin, and this one looks pretty nice. I'll go over more detail in the future. So looking on the left here, I have Wuher, the Cantina bartender. I was super stoked to grab him. He's definitely going to be a central figure in my Cantina diorama in the future. He comes with the droid detector too, which will also figure into that whole diorama, so I'm super stoked to grab him. And then of course, going with the theme here, I have Greedo on the right, who will also be present in that one. I like Greedo anyway. He's a cool character, cool design. The Rodians are always really cool with their spindly fingers and all their different features on their heads. Just a great design for an alien here. Alright. So that's going to do it. These are the last ones I'm going to go over today. I will be updating this probably in the next month or so with another pickup video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more content, definitely subscribe. If you want to give me a thumbs up, that's cool too. No begging here though. I do like to see you guys. I'd love to get some comments as well. If you have any suggestions about things I should pick up, things I might be interested in, any constructive criticism as far as the videos go, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to improve. I'm having a lot of fun making these videos for you guys and for myself, so have at it and have a great day.